All right. We're back at the podcast, and I have two guests today. I know normally we have a one guest limit, but today we had two young guys from Hazelet Realty who I've been following on social media. Everyone knows I know John personally, and he was telling me about these two young guys that are these, have a hustle to them. So I said, let's get the young guys on one day. And today I have with me to my left, for my far left, I have Jack Hesslein. And next to me, I have Dominic DeCesare. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
When I say gentlemen, I say that,
Yeah, I understand.
yeah. So you guys are different than the normal real estate agent. The normal real estate agent isn't under 21 years old. They've been doing it, on the side for 20 years, and some of them are full-time now, with some of the different changes in the laws. But two young guys, what made you decide to get into real estate?
I guess I'll tell a little bit of the story here.
Sure.
I know we talked about it briefly before this, but so one day, throughout the whole pandemic, I was, in my room a lot. So I stumbled across a video about real estate.
Okay.
And I was really interested in it, and I love real estate in general. And that's one of the things we like so much about going to the office every day is we just love to talk about it. It's really interesting, and we can help people. But basically, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. So I decided that, and then one day, him and I used to work at Chili's together. I was a food runner, and he worked in to-go. So in the
on
the
your
kitchen,
break, you guys started to chit-chat?
Or during the job.
Yeah, either whatever it was, either one. Basically, we were talking, and I had mentioned I think I'm going to do real estate right after high school and just go to community college locally. And that's basically, he was like, that's a great idea. And ever since then, we just have talked about it, and we did it together.
We always talked about investing in real estate, so we figured we would do that too. But we tried a few things before real estate. We tried to make like a little clothing company, a little brand, but it didn't really work out. So there were
Why
a few
did that
things.
work out?
Honestly, probably because we just didn't put enough time and effort into it. We thought it'd be we make a little design, put it on the internet, people will buy it, we'll be rich, right? But
Wait, that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. I thought it would,
way.
but it didn't.
I gotta figure. Good. All right, so that doesn't work.
It'd be like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Just, if you build it, they will come, right?
Yeah.
It's not true.
Yeah, definitely not.
So you did that, and then what else did you do?
We went, honestly, we went through everything. We tried drop shipping. And then we realized, like, the margins just don't make sense of how people make money. So we decided really quick.
all these TikTok stars are really,
they're trying to sell you their course on how
to
do it.
We realized really quick because we did the numbers, and it's not profitable.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Or for us, for our level.
For us anyway, yeah. Unless you're ordering like 1,000.
Yeah, some of those people, there's been these dreamers didn't just start on TikTok. These dreamers have been around for years through the multi-level marketing and all these other kind of things. And again, some people do make money at it. Usually the first people in the door make money at it. When you look at that trickle down effect, but the average guy who's going to be drop shipping, it's by the time you factor in your time, there's nothing left.
Yeah. Well, they're just trying to sell you the course too, because they make a lot of money on the course that they sell.
Yeah, they're good at that. They're like,
yeah.
And they sound so convincing too.
Yeah, I'm like, it's that easy? That's all I have to do? Sure.
Yeah, it does.
What's funny is I'm in this business. I've been in business 15 years, and I knew it was going to be hard work, and it's very hard work. But I met up with a guy that through Instagram or something that was doing this dropshipping. He's like, it's going to be so easy. You're going to make blah 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 blah. And you're like, and then you second guess yourself. You're like, how the hell is this guy making that kind of money?
Yeah.
But on the other side is then like a month later his email address doesn't work anymore and stuff like that. So you gotta wonder about that. But that's cool that like you guys are just hustlers. You guys are just trying stuff out and figuring out what works. And I feel like you guys are like stepbrothers. Like you go on interviews together.
Yeah, sure.
We actually technically we did because we walked into every single brokerage when we first got our license together.
So we didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
we're like, hey, what do we do now?
So you took the class, you passed the class.
Yeah.
You took the class together?
Yeah.
We did.
That was a dumb question. So you take the class together, you pass the test together. Who got a higher score?
You don't know.
You don't know.
Oh, it just tells you that
It just says it's a pass, or if you
Okay.
fail, they'll give you your fail score.
Yeah, okay.
But when
So,
you pass, you don't know.
Who do you think got a better score if you were guessing?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
All right.
We know basically everything.
Yeah, he
Similarly.
actually passed it one try before I did. I took
Okay.
an extra try, and I was like, damn, because we studied together, and I'm like, how did you pass? And he was like, oh, I went on the piece of paper, and I wrote, oh, I know this information, I'll pass this test, as he's taking down the scrap paper they give you.
Whenever I got like, you know how you're taking a test
Yep.
and you can't do it anymore. So whenever I got like that, I would just sit there and I'd write, I will pass.
And I was like,
passed.
okay, if that worked for you, then I'm going to try it next
Did it-
time.
and-
And then I did it, and then I passed. And the proctor was like looking at it, and he's like, oh, a lot of manifestation going on here, huh? And I'm like, my friend did it, and it worked, so I gave it a try, and it worked.
If you believe it, it will happen.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you passed the test, and now you start going into brokerages together.
Yeah, we're just walking in the front door.
Put on our button up.
My
and-
shiniest suit, and we just walked
Yeah.
in.
And then you found Hazelet Realty in Brick, and
Yeah, well, we actually we caught John on his way out. It was a Tuesday, and he's like, I'm looking for guys just like you. Can you come back tomorrow? And we were like,
and you're
sure.
like, I have nothing to do.
I was like, I'll be here.
I might be in the same suit, but I'll be here.
Yeah. And we went a few other places, and then we went back the next day, and then every place we went to after, we were comparing to John and Hazelet Realty Group. We're like,
Yeah.
I think we know, like, they'd have to give us an amazing presentation for us to.
Yeah.
We knew where we were going the second we left the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That's great that you found like a home so fast, and you found and again, you're dealing with a guy who's a great mentor, a great
Absolutely.
person, a good person in the community. He always is giving back. He's involved with the Rotary, the Chamber of Commerce, so he's just a good person to have on your team. And I think he's a hands-on guy. Like there's some real estate firms that are larger where like that owner or that broker of records not kind of in the day-to-day anymore.
Yeah, John loves training. That's
Yeah.
what he lives for. New people come and he trains, and because he has a lot of love for the business, and he wants people to succeed and love it like he does.
And he wants it to be done the right way. Like he's not a guy who takes shortcuts.
No, definitely not.
He is a long game kind
He's
of guy.
a long, and you know what? That's why I like him because again, I try to run the same type business where the long game's the game. And again, he's the guy who's in early in the morning. He's the guy who's there late at night. He's not the guy who's just every other week. Oh, I'm taking off for a week or two. Have a good
Good luck, guys.
Kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
Lock the door on your way out. But
Yeah.
make sure you turn off the lights. But that's great that you have such a guy. And I think I'll give a plug to his son JT, who I think's the man. I think he's a great person, like as a younger guy, to kind of look and see how he's done it and how he's done with his TikToks and his Instagrams, and he's done some cool stuff. So I mean, that's great that you have a younger guy in there too.
Yeah, it's funny after we left the interview, both days we went in a row, he was there. And we're like, as we left, we're like, oh, there's a young guy here.
There's a young guy here.
And I'm like, we're going to be friends with him. That's what we said. And then, obviously he's way ahead of us right now, but he's got his social media going for him, and he's there working hard every day. So it's good, friendly competition as well.
He is a funny one. My cousin, I meet up for dinner a couple weeks ago, she lives in Maplewood, and at the end of dinner, she goes, "Oh, I think we're thinking about moving down to Brick, from Maplewood." I said, "Oh, that's cool." She goes, "I'm going to need JT's number," and I was like, I looked at her like, "How the hell you know JT?" But then I was like,
That's funny.
He was on the podcast. He was on the Real Estate Forum podcast. So she saw him on my social media, and it's like, but she was talking about it like she knew him. She's like, "I got to get JT's number." I told JT that the other day. He was very happy to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
The cool thing about the podcast, and I would recommend you guys do it after it comes out, is there's going to be so many clips that you guys can cut up and use in your own social that's going to be great for you guys. So,
Yeah, definitely.
Content is king with this. So in the game of social media, so you need authentic content, and I think that's what's going to help you guys grow. So 6 months at it, where are we at? What are we doing?
So initially, the first, I would say 3 months, John is a big, come to the office kind of guy. And me too. I can't really work from home. If I'm not at the office and I go home, I can think of a million things that have to get done regardless of doing work.
Yeah.
So
The office was really meant for work.
Yeah.
The home was really meant for the home.
Yeah. That's it.
I'm on the John Hazelet school of thought on this one too.
Yeah. No. And, because it's funny, when we were going to real estate school, we were looking for an in-person one, but they didn't have it at the time we wanted to go.
Okay.
And I'm like, listen, I did online school, and I don't learn well from home, so we had to really sit there and make sure we paid attention because it's not easy stuff.
It's very easy to get distracted.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, especially when you take it together.
When you're sitting in the same room.
In the same room. On the same Zoom call.
Yeah, you didn't have to say that, but
It's
no,
all
I'm
right.
kidding.
I believe it.
Yeah.
How about I interview you from Step Brothers?
Yeah. But we were going to the office, but then we realized, what's our quality of time spent there? Like, we were going, and it's like, we didn't really know what to do. We were getting trained, and he was teaching us how to apply just your life to your business. And then we realized one day that it's not just my phone's not gonna ring. I was under the impression my phone would just ring, and I'd gotta go do this and do some real estate.
Yeah.
But it's not like that. You have to make your phone ring by putting yourself out there.
So I mean, putting yourself out there. So are you guys involved in any networking groups or any chambers of commerce or any organizations like that yet?
So as of right this second, no, but we were looking to join the Toms River Chamber of Commerce.
Good.
Yeah.
They have an event next Friday we were going to go to.
They have a thing with the Blue Claws coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna go to that too.
Oh, good. That's because that's for young professionals. So that's for guys under 40 years old, which you are well under 40 years old. You might be the youngest professionals there, but
We'll see.
I think that's great. I think you have to, if I could give you a piece of advice, join organizations. There's always people that need, could use help. Like, you join a Chamber of Commerce and you get on one of the committees, you join the Rotary and you give back. The more that you put your name out there, the more it's going to come back to you tenfold.
Yeah.
And anyone that tells you that that's wrong, have them call me. I'd be happy to discuss it with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get involved if there's a nonprofit. If there's something, people do business with people they like. So the more that you guys can put yourself out there, and if it could be a nonprofit, I'm not saying go write a check for $1 million. I'm saying go to their event, help them set up, where you're just investing some time, but people get to know you. Oh, those are those young guys from Hazelet Realty. Because again, when someone's looking to sell their house or looking to buy a house, they're gonna think of you.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy Jack, he's great. He's always able to help us. Oh, there's organizations that can help you help yourselves while you're growing this. And again, I think you need to meet mortgage guys and title people so that they can refer you. JT was on the podcast recently on the Real Estate Forum, and the title insurance person said to him when she was leaving, "Hey JT, I have a lead for you," and he's now working a lead because he was here at the right time at the right place with a title person. But I think for you guys, if I can give us 2 cents of advice, is that I want you guys to be out there, be a part of the community. I've always said Wingman's a fabric of this community. We do food drives, we do toy drives. You've seen me dress up as Santa Claus. I bring a trolley around to collect toys. But again, getting involved in those things, like even if you guys said to me, "Look, I want to get involved with your toy drive this year," you don't have to be John and get 300 toys. Listen, there's places that give me 2 toys or 5 toys, but they're out there promoting it on social. They're out there, and then you become part of a bigger group. And I think that's one thing where you guys can really succeed. And the fact that you're young and you have a hustle to you and you have a work ethic to you, which not every young person has these days. So I think that you guys have a really great story. So now it's your turn to go out there and start telling that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we've been talking about more recently when we first started. Yeah, like he was saying, when we first started, we thought, not that the phone would ring like all the time, but that there might be 1 or 2 that might get thrown around or something, but it just isn't like that, especially these days in real estate when everything's online through different lead sources and everything like that. You got to really go and find people and build connections.
Yep.
And that's one thing that we're starting to realize a little bit more recently rather than right when we first started.
And you know what? You got to learn it. You guys are young. You've never done this. I mean, again, when I first started, I don't think I expected my phone to ring, but I did a lot of cold calling 15 years ago. And again, the nice thing is some of those cold calls that I made 15 years ago are still customers of Wingman, clients of Wingman today, and ultimately have become friends of Wingman. Like, I'm helping the Brick Rotary with their 50-50 raffle, and I called one of the guys from 15 years ago. I said, "Hey, you want to buy a raffle ticket for Brick Scholarships?" "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
Put me in. So, I mean, again, you have to become that. You want to just get out there. You don't want to be the best kept secret.
Yeah, John always says you can't be a secret agent.
All right, well,
Yeah.
a similar way to say it, but I mean, I couldn't agree with him more. You want to be out there. You want to have cards everywhere you go. You want to leave an impression with someone, and it's not, and especially in the world that you guys live in, it's not always for today. You're planting seeds.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, we just started recently making cold calls too, and it's more.
How do you like it? Tough game.
I mean, it's a tough game for sure. But sometimes you talk to some really great people who are interested. You know what I mean? You're building a database, and you treat it like a regular lead, and you work it like that. You know, you can't expect overnight success with it.
We have noticed that you do get better results when your mindset is strictly on helping people, rather than like you take yourself out of worrying about the outcome. Remove yourself from the outcome, and we've realized that. Especially on the phone, I guess your energy, people can feel it.
Yeah, definitely. I always feel like you have to smile when you're talking to someone. Like, to me, even a good situation, bad situation, like if you're gonna make that call positive, you need to kind of, as goofy as it sounds, smile on the phone, because otherwise they can feel that negative energy.
Yeah, 100% they could feel it. It's like some days where it's like, oh, I don't feel like doing it. I don't want to do it. You know, I try to flip my mindset of like I get to make the calls today, so I'm on the phone and I'm happy, and they could hear that I'm happy about what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know, you don't want to buy something from someone or do business with someone who's upset to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, or just miserable. So
I agree with you, and I think that the beautiful thing is that it's a numbers game. So like you need some no's to get a yes. Like there's no way to do it. Like, you know, again, the best shooter in basketball, the best baseball player, they didn't shoot it 100% or they didn't hit it 100%. Pete Rose didn't bat over 400 over the lifetime of his career. So that means 6 times out of every 10 that he went to get a bat, he did not get on base. So like when you think about that, like you have to think about that in your world. Like even on your best day of cold calling, there's not going to be 100% success rate. If there is, there's something really wrong, or or really you are that greatest cold caller.
It's the best day of your life.
You know, at that point maybe retire the next day.
Yeah.
But you know, you're going to have great days and you're going to have some days that are tricky. But again, I think if go in with that mentality of helping somebody find their forever home, their dream home, some people are selling because they need to make a change. So if you go in with their outcome, I think that is a great way to go about it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what we do is, I know a good amount of other realtors also make calls to people that have expired in the past. They have expired listings. And really, your goal should be to just call them and figure out what went wrong, to see if that problem is still a problem and if you maybe have the solution for it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. And so on the cold calls, you've booked some appointments and stuff?
Yeah. I've booked a handful of appointments and went on them. But it's not an immediate thing. You know, you don't always go and it's like, okay, let's sign paperwork and go. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's stuff that has to happen first, and problems need to be solved. And, you know, it's definitely the quickest way, in my opinion, to talk and get in front of people while you're sitting at the office. You could sit on a dialer and call, 100 people in an hour. So, it gets you in front of people, and possibly you get business out of it and you get to help people. So
that's cool. So who's going to make the first sale?
I mean,
we'll see. I mean, it's a little friendly competition. Right?
Yeah. Is it a friendly competition?
Yeah, it's friendly.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely friendly.
You can't trip him as he's leaving to go sign that listing agreement.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Well, I wouldn't say that on here, but
but it might happen.
Yeah.
Why did Jack have to go to the hospital? Oh, I don't know.
He fell down the stairs or something.
Good thing you're on one level over there. All right, so the spring season's here. Like, you think that it's going to be a good spring for the real estate market and what you guys are looking to do?
I do. I mean, interest rates are slowly trickling down. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that's going to get a lot of people who don't want to sell their house because, well, where am I going to go? Mm-hmm. I'm going to pay a lot of money for this, right? It's going to get those people out of that mindset because now they're going to trickle down. And yeah, they might get locked in at that higher rate, but in 6 months to a year when it comes down, now you don't have to worry about the higher home prices. You got it at a lower price, and then you get to refi at a lower rate. Mm-hmm. You date the rate, but you marry the house.
That's from JT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we all steal it from we all stole it from
Who?
from Mike Martone anyway. So
Yeah.
Wait, Mike Martone is the creator
yeah,
of this
and John says it too. I don't know who invented
Yeah, it was
but
someone did.
I stole it though.
So say that one again. You don't?
you date the rape, but you marry the house.
All right. All right, so that...
I'll give him credit.
Yeah.
All right, shout out to Mike Martone today. Mike Martone reached out to me recently. He wants to get on the podcast, so I guess he wants to use his own lines on the podcast.
Yeah, that'll be a podcast for sure.
I know.
He's got a lot of them.
We're going to need some
Yeah.
editing and some bleeps and
Yeah.
everything else on that one.
Yeah, that's funny.
You know?
Yeah,
funny.
probably.
That'll be a good one though. He has a lot of information that could definitely help
he's a
people.
wealth of information.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Has he
is.
done some trainings with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does do trainings with us for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely got a knowledge base on going on.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you guys are 6 months in. When do you think you close your first deals? Think it'll be a year?
definitely within a year.
Within
Yeah.
a year.
Definitely, but within the next few months for sure.
You feel like you're confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, even if that's not true, it's better to think that than maybe next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to have that good mindset.
And I think when you start getting into it and you start getting you're gonna get referrals. Like once you get that first one under your belt, potentially if you sell one, they need to buy.
Yeah.
On the other side is maybe their friend needs to sell or buy, and then it starts coming in. I think when you look at John Hazelet himself, back 7 years ago when he started, it wasn't like his phone was just ringing like crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
he did tell me he sold a couple pretty quick when he first got started, but I think timing helped on that. And he came from having an extensive background of people that he knew. I feel like he knows everybody in Brick from being the
he
baseball
does.
coach and being the umpire, and for Joey and JT. I think that he also had that network of the Steelworkers Union because he had guys that he worked with that you guys don't have that network. But again, as some of your high school friends move on and start buying houses,
Yeah.
you'll be their guy. Some of the people, if you get involved in some of these community events, then you'll be their guy. And but I think there's a lot of room.
Well, you build it slow.
Yeah.
He did have that network when
Yeah.
he started because he was Mr. Bricktown.
Yeah.
People walk into the office and it's like, oh, I went to high school with your cousin's sister, and now they know each other and they're friendly.
And they're
Yeah.
like, oh,
He makes a connection with every single person. Anytime I'm with him, I know someone, your brother, your sister, your cousin, went to high school with all of them, I guess. I don't know.
I know I didn't grow up in Brick, so I didn't get the benefit of having all these people I went to high school with.
Yeah.
But, hopefully you guys were friendly with people in high school. So,
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we got to wait a couple years for
Yeah,
them to buy their first house. Yeah.
So now the college thing. So what are you doing with college?
So we're doing classes at Ocean County College. I mean,
what-
we're doing them online though.
Yeah, we are doing them online.
Are you guys sitting in the same room and doing them?
I mean,
No, I mean you just kind of sit there and do the work, and I hope I get a good grade. And,
Yep.
I'm at the office doing it real quick.
Yep.
So
Submitting before it's due.
yeah.
So now, with that, are you planning to? What's the plan with the college?
I mean, I guess it's more of a backup plan. I'm a burn the boats guy. I don't really want a backup plan because I feel like if you have one, then you're almost okay with your primary goal of just not working. Like you're prepared to fail.
I feel
And
the
I
same
don't
way.
like to. I'd rather just
So
don't fail.
you're all in.
Yeah.
I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all
You
in.
push those chips right up front. You're all in.
I'm all in. And
You're
my
all in?
parents
Yeah,
worry, but
I'm the same way.
Are your parents warriors?
yeah, they want stability and security of you don't know when your next check is coming. But I think that if you have the confidence and security in yourself of I know this is what I do to get business every day, the business will come, and you have the security of your work ethic instead of just a paycheck. You know what I mean?
Listen, I don't want to go against your parents because I don't know them, but I think you're on the right path. I think that you have. It's great.
They support me.
You should.
I don't want anyone to think they don't support me. They very well support me, but parents worry.
You should stay the course. Parents worry, and that's parents' jobs are to worry about their kids. And again, you're probably their pride and joy. But on the other side is I love your philosophy. I lived the same way, and I had a corporate job. My parents made me go to college. They said to me, "We're paying for a 4-year degree. If you want to go or not, you're going to get a 4-year degree."
Yeah, I mean, if they're paying, right?
At the time, I had no choice. Like 20 years later, I think it would be a negotiation with them. I would be like, "Yo, I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
But I had a great time. I was in a fraternity. I lived off campus. I did all those fun things. I did a bunch of dumb things in the middle of the night. You understand. But on the other side of it is, then I went and I worked at a corporate job. I worked at 2 corporate jobs. I did not, go out on my own till I was, in my late 20s. So you guys have like a 10-year head start on me. Like, I'm jealous of you guys.
Well, it's tough,
Yeah. I mean,
lacking some life experience. So we are still learning. I don't know if I don't really want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I didn't know how to address an envelope before. They didn't teach us in school.
No, they
And
did not.
John's like, "Oh, you got to send handwritten letters out." Like
Handwritten letters is a great idea.
of like people like you talked to on the phone or you went here as like a touch, And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And then he's like, "Oh, did you send them out?" I'm like, "John, I don't know how to address an envelope, so you're gonna have to help me with that."
Yeah.
Did
So
you know
I
how to do
learned.
it?
No. They had to. We had a little training day.
So that was a training session.
Yeah,
In
it was
the
one of
middle
our
of the day.
20-minute training sessions.
Yeah, one of our quick ones.
Wow. I guess you don't know that. If you don't know it, you don't know it. So,
I know now.
Yeah.
and now you could teach that
I could.
for the next young guy that comes in. I think it should be your responsibility to say,
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you how to do the envelopes.
Because they never taught us in school, so people younger than me don't know either.
Perfect.
And my dad's like, "Are you kidding? You didn't know how to write? You're embarrassing yourself. You didn't know how to write address an envelope." I'm like, "No one ever taught me how to do it."
You should say, "Dad, you should have shown me."
He's like, "I thought you knew."
I thought they gave you that in school. So, all right, cool. So I love what you guys are doing. This is what I want you guys to do. I want you to both join an organization, and you don't have to join the same organization. It's okay to
separate.
I feel like you're young, and that's why you like to do everything together. And I think that's cool that you guys are like a buddy system. But on the same side is I think you guys gotta embrace this community. The Monmouth Ocean County community is a great community. I've built a business here. I have 2 offices. I love it. I can't say enough good things about it. And being a transplant, I came from Long Island, New York, so I'm not, it's not like I'm John who's been in Brick his whole life. But you guys got to get into the community, start making your name so that people know you. And you have, again, the best part is you have a guy like John behind you. So everybody likes him. So already starting out in a positive. When John started, he was, before he went out on his own, he was working for somebody else, but then he went out on his own. It was still, he had a network, but he still had to start to build it up. You have him behind you. Like, you have a support system, guy who could tell you how to write out an envelope. But you have a support system behind you. And he went out on his own. He was his own support system, and he had to find those new customers and sales and sell houses. Like, you have the support system behind you. You have him, you got JT, you have Lisa, you have people that are on your side, in your corner, that want to see you succeed. So now it's your time to get out there. Again, I think the cold calling is great. I think continue doing that. Be active on social. There is every day on social media, someone in one town of pages is asking for who's a great realtor, who is someone used, and you guys have to get out there. Put your name out there. Put your name everywhere, because it's gonna it's gonna stick.
Yeah,
and then,
it's your brand too.
And then it's your brand, and then once you start getting that first and second, then do follow-ups, get referrals, and build your business organically the right way. And the best part is you're not married men with 2 kids and a mortgage already. You're young guys that you guys can take some chances out there.
Yeah, there's not a better time to.
There's not a better time to do this. And again, when I went on my own, like I said, I was in my late 20s, and I remember my wife saying to me, what's the harm? What's the harm? If you don't do it, you go out and get another job. Like, you can do this. And again, I took some motivation and some change mindset. Again, I had a paycheck coming every 2 weeks into a direct deposit. I wasn't working all that hard. And now I'm going to start working with entrepreneurs and building a business. But at the same time, I already had a mortgage. I already had some bills. So, like, you're at a point where you haven't started those bigger expenses.
Yeah.
So now's the time to build it from the ground up, build the foundation, build it strong, be men of the community, have integrity, and I see nothing but success for you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We appreciate
I
that
really
a lot.
appreciate you coming on today. And as we wrap up today, let the audience know how they can find you on social media, or your your cell phone numbers, whatever. Let them know how to find you.
All right, so you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Sure. It's Dominic DeCesare on
He's going
Facebook, Instagram. You call me 732-644-3666.
And for me, it's just Jack Hesslein, JackHesslein, on Facebook.
I should have spelled it.
Yeah, you should have spelled it after this. But I have a couple other plans for social media I want to start to document my journey with a couple other things. But for now, just go to my Facebook, and you could DM me or find my phone number there and contact me if you have any questions.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks again for coming in. Keep hustling. Keep doing great things. And I look forward to hearing success stories from both of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it.
us.
You
Yeah,
bet.
we appreciate it.